Hey everyone, hope you don't mind a bit of a voiceover for this video. I'm here to give an update on Project DS and also show you how you can set it up in its current state. So, something a little unexpected happened yesterday. Project DIVA Mega Mix Plus was released on Steam out of nowhere. And I think this is now the easiest way to get files for Project DS. So I figured I'd just quickly show how to do that, and then I'll go into a bit of a demo again like I did with the first video. So, if you have Project DIVA Mega Mix Plus on Steam, you can right-click on it in your library and go to Properties. Now, in the menu that pops up here, you want to go to Local Files and press Browse. Now, this is going to show you all the files for the game. They didn't want quite so easy access to the files we want, so they're packed into these CPK files. But I have some tools here that will help get the files out that we need. So these are going to be linked in the description. This one is from GitHub, and this one is just a sketchy executable from a Discord attachment. I've used it myself, it seems fine, but if I find a better link for it, like a GitHub or something, I'll update the link in the description. So anyway, we have these 4 files here, and we need to extract them. I'm just going to drag them over here temporarily, just so I can find them easier. I'm going to open up the CryPack GUI here. Now, once I have this open, I'm going to go and open one of my CPK files that I dragged into here. I have to go through all of them. It'll take a while, but I'm just going to extract them, and I'm going to choose the same folder again. Okay, it looks like all the files are extracted now, so we can close this, we don't need it anymore. I'm going to drag my CPK files back to the game. We don't need this anymore, we don't need this anymore. Alright, so now we have all these unpacked files. What we want to do is find the chart files and the song files. So I'm going to use a search here, and I believe you can do a similar thing on Windows. I'm going to look up PV_OGG, and this should bring up all of the OGG files, the song files. The reason I do it like this is because they're scattered across many different folders. It's kind of a pain, but this should be everything right here. So I'm just going to make a new tab real quick and make a new folder over here called OGG. I'm just going to take all of these and I'm going to move them into this folder. I don't know what this is. There seems to be some overlap. I'm sure we can just replace these files, it's fine. They seem to be the same file. So, now we have all these OGG files here. The other thing that we need is the DSC files. So these are the files that contain the notes that you have to hit, pretty much. So I'll do the same thing. I got the DSC files there. I'm going to make a new folder for them. And I'm going to move them all over here. Again, if we have some repeat, I'll just replace them, it's fine. Okay, so now I should have all the files I need. But it's not even this easy, because all the files from the CPKs were encrypted. So that's where this sketchy tool comes in. All you have to do, on Windows at least, you just have to drag these folders on top of the exe. So you'll drag the DSC folder here, and then you'll drag the OGG folder here. On Linux, I have to do it with the command line. That also works on Windows, but you know, whatever works. So I'm going to run this executable with wine, and I'm going to feed it the DSC folder. Now that's going to decrypt all the files for me. Perfect. And now I'm going to do the same thing again for the OGGs. Beautiful. Alright, so now we have these decrypted files. They're pretty much ready to go. There is one last step. So right here I have Project DS. This was just the latest build available on GitHub. I'll also have that linked in the description. So once you extract the zip file, you'll get these two files, or a file in a folder. So if you go into the Project DS folder here, you'll notice some similar file names, folder names. So what we want to do is we want to take our decrypted DSC files, plop them into here. We want to take our decrypted OGG files. Whoop. Take our decrypted OGG files, plop them in here. Okay. Now, this is pretty much ready to go. But an additional step, if you don't want to wait ages for the DS to convert the files, what you want to do is you want to run this converter right here. This is going to go through all the OGG files and convert them into PCM files that the DS can read. So I'll let this run. Alright, everything's been converted. So now that the files have been converted, you don't really need the OGG files anymore, so you can delete them if you want to save space. And now this is pretty much ready to just copy over to the SD card. So whatever you use for DS Homebrew, you want to take your Project DS folder and just pop it right on the root there. Alright, that took a ridiculous amount of time, but now all of those files have been copied over. So the only other step is to take the DS file, the ROM file, and paste it in here. Now I'm going to rename mine to boot.nds because that's just how I launch Homebrew on my DSi, but it doesn't matter what it's called as long as you launch the ROM file, it should work. Now, one more thing I should mention. This file structure here might change in the future. I might want to make it more like the official game file structure. So if I do that, I might end up invalidating like half of this tutorial. But for now, this is how it works. So that's what we're going to roll with. Now I'm going to put this card in my DS. I'm going to put this SD card in my DS. And we are going to see how it works. So here I am in the song select on the DS. This is what you see when you start Project DS. You can see all the files that we copied over are showing up. Left and right on the D-pad lets me choose between difficulties, and up and down lets me scroll through the songs. You might notice that you can't actually see the song names yet. That's because I'm not parsing the database file that contains those. But if you move your cursor over a song, it will start playing so you can still tell what song it is. Now, one more thing I wanted to mention. This seems to be an issue that mainly affects older songs, but sometimes if you start a song, the notes and the music won't be lined up. So in that case, what you want to do is press start to stop the song, and you can use the left and right buttons on the D-pad to adjust the default fly time. Now you just have to adjust this, guess and test until you get the right value. I still need to look into this. For the newer songs, they have a command that sets the fly time, and that works fine, but the older songs don't seem to have that. I haven't figured out how they set their fly time yet, so for now it's just manual. Other than that, this should pretty much work how you would expect. Now, before we get into the demo, I'm just going to quickly mention some of the new things that have been added since the last video. So there are rotating timing arrows on all of the notes, there's a combo counter, hold notes are implemented, and also score has been implemented. Now, there's some missing UI elements for the score bonuses on holds and slides, but the score bonuses do apply, you just don't see them on the top screen. So that pretty much covers it. There are also a bunch of bug fixes, but let's just get into the demo and you can see for yourself.